Hey guys, what's up? So I want to talk about a little bit about heavy lifting and mind muscle connection. So hopefully I'm going to try to make it short and not be boring, but very helpful though. So stay tuned. So everyone says that you have to lift heavy to build muscle. Yes, that is true, right? But if the weight is only the thing that you're focusing on, right? Then you're leaving gains on the table. Why is that? Because muscle doesn't grow just because the weight moves. It grows because muscle needs tension. So it needs to be under tension, right? So the load needs to be coming down and controlling the weight. And I'll explain why muscle connection really makes a difference and it's really important, right? So when people chase heavier weights from usually goes out the door. So the form, what happens is your form goes out the door, right? Sorry about this, guys. I just started recording again. I had a really tough situation. I lost my brother, and I'm starting to record videos again. But anyways, so when people chase heavier weights, form usually goes out the door, and then the goal becomes just moving the weight. So no matter what muscles are doing, so there's no thought of what muscles are doing the work. Just moving the weight. That might increase the strength, but it doesn't mean or guarantee muscle growth, right? And over time, it actually increases your risk of injury. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys done it. I've done it. I thought the same. I'm like, oh, I need to lift heavy. Progressive overload. Yes, progressive overload is important, but it needs to be done in a proper way with form and tension. So this is where the mind muscle connection matters, right? Because mind muscle connection means you're intentionally contracting the target muscles and controlling the rep. And then the main thing is keeping the tension where it belongs, especially on the eccentric, which means, let's say on a bench press, right? It's really very easy to explain. The eccentric is the down motion or the portion where you're controlling the weight, you're letting it go, and then you boom, exploding, right? To the top. So um, keeping tension where it belongs is important because that's where the muscle breaks down. That's where the muscle actually grows. I mean, it grows rest recovery. We could talk about that later on, but it doesn't mean lifting light forever, right? Progressive overload still does matter, but heavy weight without control is just ego lifting. I'm gonna be honest with you, and we've all done it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But as we get older, and as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that heavyweight is not everything. It does matter, but you need mind muscle connection. And what I've noticed actually is when you have mind muscle connection, well, before you even lift the weight automatically becomes heavier, and you feel controlled. You feel like everything feels just right. So there's less chances of getting injury, right? So it kind of like locks you down and your form becomes even better because your intention is right on the muscle that you're working on. And the way I think about this is called, I can go on about this, but it's called muscle intention, or I like to call it where your intention is on the muscle from the beginning to the end. So let's say, example, in a bench press, the intention is for me, as soon as I get the bar, as soon as I get it all the way to the bottom position, I pretty much push my hands apart like this. This is gonna automatically activate the chest muscles, right? So from this point on, I try to keep my hands together, pushing the bar, like pushing my hands together in one to each other. At the same time, I'm moving the weight. So now you're not lifting weight or strength, right? You're building muscle, you're working that muscle because you got constant tension all the way through. So you just keep pushing it, right? And when you come to let's say to the eccentric position, that's when you really, really control the weight, time it, maybe 4 to 5, 6 seconds down, and boom, explode, hold the contraction for 2 seconds. That makes a huge difference, guys. So The best results comes from combining proper form, controlled tempo, again, mind-muscle connection, and then increasing the load. So don't train so train your muscle and not your ego. Leave your ego at the door, especially if you're young. If you're just starting out working out, man, if you pay attention to what I gotta say, you will save yourself from injuries, from loss of gains. You'll actually make a solid gains, actual gains. Let's be real, guys. Most people who work out, you're not lifting for strength really, right? You're lifting for strength, yes, but like you want to build muscle. You want to show that physique, right? And if that's your goal, then pay attention because this video is definitely going to help you. I would love to hear some feedback because this is my first video where I'm actually talking to you guys again, and I would love to make more of these videos. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. Subscribe if you haven't.